Hello and welcome back to the series where we attempt to conquer Pendor in 250 days. Now, someone actually asked me what my difficulty settings are. I'm going to show you right now, just so you can get an idea as to what we've been playing on, and then you can see, there it is. We're playing on 50% player, 75% friends. The reason why I'm playing on 50% player is because I just don't want to die instantaneously every single time I go into a battle. Obviously, there are many other ways that you could play the game. You could play it very, very carefully, so you could literally just go and stand all the way at the back of the battlefield. But for me personally, I don't find that enjoyable, right? So I'm obviously not going to do that. However, because we're having it on 50%, I can still die. You know, that's the funny thing. You've seen me, you know, I've literally gotten shot by multiple thrown weapons, bolts, arrows, whatever, and I have died very, very quickly. So I think 50%, you know, in Pendor is a pretty decent balance. It's not going to make you die instantly, but it's also not going to make you invincible. So I actually quite like that. And 75% for friends, because I don't want it to be, you know, insanely troublesome, but yeah, I think 75% is pretty decent. The balancing is okay there, especially considering we do have that time limit to consider. And I don't want to be going and recruiting people over and over and over again and then having to fight vassals over and over and over again, because that would just absorb too much time. So that's what I've been playing on this entire time. If you want to try it out yourself, then obviously you can. I am playing with campaign difficulty on good, even though I don't actually like doing that most of the time, but that's what I'm doing in this series, just because I felt like maybe that would help our allies and so on. So yeah, there you go. I just wanted to give you a brief explanation there, and obviously bear in mind, this is indeed, this has been very, very much proven in the previous episode, because we lost huge amounts of troops. And yeah, there you go. I mean, it happens. It happens, especially in these really, really difficult sieges where the Ravenstern are just immense in their defense. They have so many really, really good fief layouts and you know, stuff like that. It really makes a huge difference. Anyway, I have noticed that Roland is running around with 500 troops, if you could believe it. Because I couldn't believe it. When I saw him, I was like, what, really? He has 500 troops? How does he even have this? Anyway, we're currently at this particular castle because I just took Senderfall from the Fierdsvein, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to take the other thing that's nearby. I basically just went to the nearby castle, and it is indeed a siege tower, as you could quite clearly tell. I mean, it's right in front of us here. And I just wanted to make sure that we took this, because then they can't really launch any other attacks that easily against us, and they're all going to be huddling in the other two castles or whatever that they have remaining. Alright, so we're in another siege tower siege here. I know, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I actually feel like, you know what? I think we have enough time. Okay, I think we have enough time. The only thing that I am a little bit worried about is eliminating the Empire. This is the thing. If we want to 100% conquer every single thing in Pendor, we're going to need to take these anyway. But if we want to do a pseudo-conquering, because that's what we did in the previous, you know, attempt in the in native, you know, conquering Calradia, then I think we've already technically won in that case. You know, basically taking all the towns. We've already kind of done that, apart from Poinsbrook, of course, but that is, I think, a bit of a formality, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit too overconfident in that regard or something. I'm not entirely sure. But all I know is that we've only got one town remaining, and the rest are just castles and stuff like that. And yeah, sure. You know, obviously, we haven't taken every single castle that is a ladder castle yet. So that's also something that we still need to do. But the point is, if we want to conquer everything, we're going to need to take these anyway. So obviously it's very much, you know, it's one of those things that we might just need to do anyway. And so I'm just thinking, oh, I might as well get it over with, you know. I'm right here, might as well, right? So that's why I'm doing it. And yeah, there's oh yeah, by the way, this is a Ravenstern fief. This is where we currently are. I mean, if you can't tell, because obviously we're killing Ravenstern enemies. And indeed, I am actually going to try to get in here. I'm going to try to get in here and do a little bit of damage, because I actually want to. I have been yearning for fighting a little bit here. Because I haven't really been fighting that much. Even in my off-screen time, I don't really have a huge amount of opportunity to fight. I do fight sometimes, of course, because I do want to level up. And I do try to get some kills with my archery and so on. And I have actually gotten quite a few really, really high-value kills recently. Like, for example, right now, look at what we're able to get here. 300 XP per kill, which is actually really nice. I just really wish that I had more power strike, I guess, to a certain degree. But yeah, it's fine. I don't really mind dying here because, you know, it was basically just me having some fun. And we'll hopefully be able to take this. I think we probably will. I mean, let's face it, you know, we're not really running around with extremely small amounts of bad units. No, we've got a lot of very high tier people. We will probably end up losing quite a few because this is indeed a siege tower. And the well, the layout isn't exactly conducive to us living quite well here, but we are starting to penetrate the defenses quite nicely, so maybe it will be better than we think. Alright, so there it is, 21 renown for us, 15 morale. I think the morale is actually looking a little bit better for us right now, to be honest, than anything else. I don't think we really need renown that much anymore. However, I do need some cash. I'm actually starting to run out of money, so we are going to need a little bit of that, thank you very much. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this to someone that desperately needs it. So Lord Rain, I guess. I think he actually got taken prisoner, by the way, by a couple of Dashar. I'm not entirely sure what's even going on with him right now, but he seems to get himself taken prisoner almost all the time, which is really not very good. That's not a very good look for him, is it? No, he's supposed to be someone that's actually going to be somewhat decent. As you can see, Sigismund is having some problems. If you get yourself taken prisoner, Sigismund, I will not be very pleased. Yes, I'm not entirely sure what some of my people are doing, actually, at points. Sometimes they are a little bit perplexing. Don't really know. But I'm going to buy a bunch of cheese. There we go. And I'm going to go into the tavern here, and let me see. Can I... Yes, there we go. We could get another baggage train there. And we are now going to be making our way back to Stoutheart Castle. The reason why I haven't returned to Poinsbrook is I'm giving Wolfbode a little bit of time to get away from there. Let's just say that, because he's very annoying, isn't he? Yes, he's very annoying. We do not want him to be around there when we besiege it, because otherwise it's going to take a very long time, and he is inherently going to attack us every single time we do it. And so I'm hopeful that he will move away in the time that it takes me to take a couple of extra fiefs. And, oh, this is a pretty nice one. Alright, I like this. We might be pretty good here. I might literally be able to just stand outside and just have my forces murder them, instead of having to charge in. Charging in is, it's a bit of a mixed bag at this point. Sometimes we're going to have an utterly amazing time, and we're going to destroy everyone very, very easily, and other times we are going to suffer the most casualties that anyone has ever seen. And, yeah, this is also... Oh well, never mind. Looks as though I'm probably not going to be getting too many kills with my own archery skills, because the enemy is wanting to murder me. As you can see, this guy right there, he wants to kill me very badly, but that's okay. Oh, we got him! Yes! And I leveled! Look at that! Wow, okay, it's been a long time since I leveled up, actually, and now we leveled once again. That is so wonderful. I love that. It feels like I haven't leveled in so long, but yeah, okay, well, whatever the case, yep, should be pretty good. Oh, it is so funny to be able to shoot through these small little gaps in the archery nest here, or shall we say, what even is this? What is this called? It's not an archery nest, is it? It's like an archery gallery or something along those lines. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, I've decided to now charge our forces in here because we've killed 150, I think we had already killed, with just our ranged attacks. And if we can... oh, actually, wait a minute. I might be able to get some fun here. Maybe... Okay, here we go, here we go. I have no idea how many people are actually in here, by the way. I'm hopeful only about 360. There seems to be mostly around 250 to 350 people in these fiefs. At least the other ones that we took just now, they have about that. So I'm kind of hopeful that we're going to get a bit lucky here. Nice headshot, nice headshot. Okay, come on, a little bit more. Yes, nice headshot. Okay. Oh, another one. Wow, another one. There we go. DJ Khaled. Okay. And... No, we're fine. We're fine. Okay. We're getting some headshots again now. There we go. Okay, fantastic. That actually went remarkably well. Surprisingly. Can you believe it? I can't. There you go. Not bad. Ah, we have this fellow over there. Let's headshot him. Okay, no headshot, but we did hit him. He's dead. That guy is trying to shoot at me right now. Not a big fan, not a big fan. I'm probably going to die from this, but that's okay. I don't really mind. There we go. Oh yeah, we're getting loads of kills right now. Loads of kills. Okay, so I've actually run out of arrows now, so we're just going to have to wait for our forces to do their thing. Alright, so we did end up losing a handful of units, which is really not that bad, you know. It was a pretty easy siege nevertheless, so we didn't have to really worry about it too much. And indeed, we are going to be getting some Radiant Boar Knights. I will take some of those. And we'll take some Jatu Raiders as well. And I'm actually not entirely sure what else to take, to be honest. There's a whole bunch of units here, but I don't really like any of these, to be honest. I don't. So we're just going to move on. We'll give this to Sigismund, because he's nearby. Alright, so it looks as though me returning to Poinsbrook was at a pretty bad time. And now we are going to be attacked by almost 900 people. I'm not a big fan of that, we gotta say. Not a terribly big fan of that. But, well, we're going to have to do our very, very best here. And we do have some pretty good units, so I think we'll probably be fine. But... the question is, do we want to commit? Do we want to commit to this? That's the question. I don't think so, actually. You know, all things considered, I only have 39 archers. Not a terribly big fan of that either. Obviously, over time, because the culture of many Empire villages has changed for some reason, I don't know why, but yeah, it's changed to Pendor units. I've actually been unable to recuperate my Empire Armored Crossbowmen, and for some reason I am unable to change my culture. I don't know why. I have spoken to my Seneschal, Chamberlain, whoever you want to, whatever you want to call him, basically, and I can't change my culture for some reason. I don't know why. So that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Yeah, that is a bit of a problem. So that means that we're now in a bit of a stuck situation where I have to deal with, well, basically the units that I currently have and any units that I can get my hands on. And that's pretty much it. So we could just hope that we're going to have a decent-ish time here. And I am going to do a little bit of damage here and there. There we go. And I just need to be a bit aware of what's actually going on here. And for some reason, why is this opponent so difficult? What is this? Am I just failing? Yes. I think that's what's going on here. Okay. Oh, they're actually charging. They're actually charging. Okay, that's quite funny. Not sure why they would do that. But I'm going to tell my people to charge in myself. And we're going to do a little bit of interference here. Just a little bit of a distraction. You know how it is. Nice little distraction. Never hurt anyone. Except their efficiency, of course. And we are otherwise just going to get a couple of kills. This is what I've generally tended to do whenever I get into any kind of field battle. I just try to go for the highest tier archers. Because, you know, a person with low power strike probably want to do that, you know. Probably want to focus on archers as much as possible. Because they do have some pretty low protection or weak armor in comparison to what you might see in the infantry's line. And we're getting some good experience here. all of these Ravenstone Rangers falling before us right now. Unfortunately, my horse has now been killed, but I did kill quite a few. Another 8 kills or so that I got before I rejoined you here. And yeah, super nice and easy as well. Look at that, 303 experience every single time. So good. Unfortunately for me, this is the end. I'm dead. I think I'm dead at least. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm actually not entirely sure. I mean, these guys. Oh, they actually give some pretty good experience too. Oh, I should probably get on this horse. I do have enough riding skill to ride pretty much any horse now, with the exception of maybe the best Noldor horses. But still, not bad. Getting a handful of kills from these guys as well. Oh, there we go. Okay, yep. I was definitely 100% expecting that. Okay, so let's have a look. We've killed 340 of the enemy's units. I didn't even realize. I was just running around having fun, and yeah, I mean, obviously I was looking at what we were doing and, you know, whether we were losing huge amounts of troops, but no, we weren't. And I think, okay, now here's my analysis of the opponent and what they decided to do here, because from my perspective, the reason why they had such a difficult time dealing with us here is because they spawned in with very low tier troops initially. Because I don't know whether you noticed, but their first initial charge was very weak in comparison to what you would need to be able to defeat a lot of our forces. Because our forces are really, really good. They've got, you know, we've got really high tier people, right? So if they have high tier people as well, and they're the ones that take the initiative and charge first, they're probably going to be inflicting a lot of damage to us early on. But that was not what happened. They charged at us with low tier troops, and that resulted in a pretty devastating defeat, as you can see right here. And there we have it. That is indeed a victory. And 117 renown is our reward. Gotta say, very, very nice. We did end up losing 25 troops though, which I have to admit, not a terribly big fan of, but we did kill 537. As you can see, we do have to go in again. I think this is actually going to be required if we want to take Poinsbrook, because otherwise these guys are going to continue coming back to us. They're going to continue trying to kill us, and that's yeah, that's probably a little bit inconvenient, isn't it? Yes, I think it's a little bit inconvenient. So we are going to be a little bit more audacious here. We're going to try to be a bit, you know, a bit more steadfast in our belief that we can actually achieve victory against them, and hopefully they won't all of a sudden pull out some really crazy knighthood order units en masse and then just murder us. Hopefully that won't happen at least. And there we have it. Alright, so 55 renown for us. We barely lost anyone this time because the enemy just doesn't have anything. I did manage to kill 29 enemies as well, because I'm just literally going in there and just having a fun time. Our battle advantage is 59. Do you think we're going to win this? Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, we're definitely going to lose. Anyway, the point is, we now have completely free reign to do whatever we want with Poinsbrook, because, you know, while we still haven't, I mean, we haven't taken it, you know, of course we haven't taken it, we are basically, well, enemyless. We don't have anyone that can attack us, because they're all dead, you know, they're all dead and or being released in just a second. I am going to be releasing them all, of course. And one thing that is a little bit frustrating is the fact that I did see a Deshar vassal defect over to the Empire. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you defect to the Empire when they only have like 8 fiefs in comparison to joining us? I don't know. It's kind of a bit strange. But yeah, anyway, as you can see, we could get all these guys. And yeah, there are so many of them that we might as well just, you know, take what we can get. And as you can see, loads of loot as well. Very nice. And I think I will probably capture some of these prisoners, because I do have a need for some cash. So I am literally just going to do that. Considering I do have a load of prisoner management skill, it might make sense, right? Silver Mist Rangers. And there we go. I mean, this is a pretty sizable amount of prisoners. I can only hope that we're going to find a ransom broker in here or something like that. As you can see, 579 inside Poinsbrook right now. Let's just see if we can level up some people. Anson leveled up. Oh, very interesting. Usually it takes him an age to level up, so very, very nice that he did. And we can get him some Weapon Master right there. Get him some Athletics, I suppose. Get him some more Firearm skill. And we can level up Lancers. Ooh, we got some more Battle Riders, more Maiden Adventurers, another Hero Adventurer as well. And then we got more regular adventurers. That's also the reason why I actually really, really enjoy having Rogue Knights. Or what is it? Wait. Not these ones. It's the other ones. The Squires or whatever they're called. Because they level up into adventurers. And I actually really like those. As you can see, Seer Favorites. One of my favorite, favorite units ever. Because they do upgrade into Doom Guides, and you can see here that there's 10 of them leveling up into Doom Guides, and I now have how many? 19 Doom Guides. And as you know, Doom Guides are amazing. They are extremely, extremely strong. So we're going to finish this particular siege construction in about 6 hours, and then we should have absolutely no issue with capturing this. Oh, Torba is... Oh, are you serious? Torba hasn't been besieged in this entire time, and now he's deciding to attack? Okay, that's a bit of a funny decision to make, but alright, okay, fine. If he wants to do that, then he wants to do that. So, let's just do a little bit of spreading out here. Let's spread out our cavalry as well. I am 100% certain that we will be 100% fine here, and 100% of the time, we will not have to quote percentages ever again. 100%, okay? Alright, so we're here in the keep, and it is about time that we took Poinsbrook, don't you think? I think so. And there we have it. I am very low in HP, by the way, because I had to retreat multiple times due to my forces running out of arrows, and it didn't really go very well. Now, unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a ransom broker in here, so we're going to have a bit of a problem with that, because obviously I did want to sell my my prisoners here. We ended up losing huge amounts of troops, by the way, as you can see right here. I did have 360, I think. Yeah, I think we had 360, and we lost about 40 units in that particular siege, even with retreating and so on. I obviously did try a little bit of a charge, and that didn't really work out too well. But we have now taken it, and that is all that really matters at the end of the day. So this is what the map currently looks like, and well, it's looking pretty good right now. The only thing that we have to think about right here is that I know for certain that this and this, they're both siege towers. So the Fierdsvein have pretty significant annoyance ahead of us. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Castle Alden is like, so I guess we're going to move on over there. We're going to see exactly what's going on here. Maybe, yeah, that guy managed to get in there. Okay, yeah, it is a ladder castle. What about Falcondark? We need to avoid the Mist Mountain army. Thank you. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Yeah, this is a ladder castle as well. Okay, I'm going to actually have to wait because Anson is dead. Alright, so this is actually one of the better fiefs for us to try and take here. We can only hope that I can maybe get my archers to the top here without getting shot to pieces before that happens. Maybe maybe that's going to happen. I don't actually know, but all I do know is that this is a really, really nice fief for us to potentially take. If we can get up here, then this is going to be wonderful. Very, very nice result from this. Unfortunately, we're taking a lot of damage in the process of getting over there. But I'm hopeful that that will not last. And, oh yeah, by the way, we lost Torba. Yes, as you know, the Deshar were besieging that. So, yeah, they've now taken it. Weirdly enough, they only have one fief. I'm actually not entirely sure. Has Roland actually been doing something? I'm going to assume that he's been doing something, or Lethal Durin or something along those lines, because I saw Roland, as I said, I saw Roland running around with 500 troops, and he's obviously maybe taking stuff, which I have to admit, that is very impressive. I was not expecting any of our vassals to actually be doing anything useful, but they have, apparently. Because as far as I'm aware, the Dashar had, I think, 3 fiefs total, and now they only have 1. So this guy must have been doing something. He must have been, I don't know, while I was besieging things up here, someone must have been doing something down below, which I have to admit is very nice of them, because I need the assistance. It would be very, very nice if we can just, you know, completely and utterly obliterate some faction or another. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm gonna think about going after the Feardsvane first, because there's only 2 of them, and maybe we could go after the Dashar as well, but the Dashar are pretty far away. I'm not sure if we really want to go all the way down there when the Feardsvane are much closer to us. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, this is another one of those times where I was holding down my block button and it just didn't make any difference because I'm just getting shot too much. You know, just getting basically stun locked at that point. But it's okay. You know, we're fine. We're fine. I don't truly believe we're going to be having any kind of problem here. We are going to lose quite a few people, as you can see, because this archery nest right here is insane. It is extremely, extremely good. And as you can tell, they are going to do a lot of damage to us here. Alright, so this is what the Ravenstone territory is looking like right now. We know that Castle Alden is a ladder castle, so that's going to be really, really easy for us to take, potentially, if the vassal isn't in there still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to travel over to the various other castles in the Ravenstone territory. I'll take maybe 2 of these or something like that off screen, and then I will begin the next episode there. As you can see, the Dashar have obviously done some very annoying things, so we're going to have some problems with them. But if we can completely take all of the Ravenstone's fiefs, obviously they did take Talon Castle as well, but that's very easy, as we know. Probably one of the easiest fiefs that we can take. And then we will, basically what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. From my perspective, what we'll do is this. We'll go Misthorn, Silver Edge, Castle Alden, and then Talent Crag, and then Talent Castle, and then I will skip over to the Feardsvane territory, and we'll take both of these, and then we will go to Dashar territory. We will take Torba first, and then High Pass Fortress. As far as I remember, High Pass Fortress is a siege tower, so obviously that's going to be a bit of a problem. And then, if we have enough time, I don't know whether we will, but hopefully we will, then we will declare war against the Empire, because they're not currently at war against us right now. So we're going to declare war against them, and I might actually make myself I might make myself the Marshal, because, you know, that might make sense, right? Making myself the Marshal, and then I can call for a campaign, because Lethal Duran doesn't seem to be... I mean, he is actually doing something, because he did take some other things down here, apparently. So maybe that would be somewhat useful. Anyway, that will be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.